Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with another one, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the value of this update overall, and I'm going to tell you why I think for most players that this update can just be an overall skip. You can completely skip this update and it's not really going to affect your account one way or the other. There's a couple little things that actually involve pretty much just one character that might affect you depending on how seriously you take ABX and squad battle, and I'm talking about Captain Marvel here. But before we get to that, yeah, you might just be able to tuck all those resources and those materials and just keep them in your back pocket and save them for the next update. So let's talk about, okay, first and foremost, not Blue Marvel, America Chavez. Now, I haven't even tested her yet, but I've gathered, so all the stuff that I haven't tested myself, I've gathered from other players, you know, in other accounts that have went ahead, they've transcended her and they've tested her, and she's worse than X-23 for ABX. So she's gonna be worse in all other game modes as well, aside from some PvP. AC, Alliance Conquest, I think is going to be her only value, and that is because she has on her uniform, as her uniform effect, she has, no, not uniform options, here we go, decreased damage, Jesus Christ, okay, decreased damage received from all reflected attacks by 50%. It says reflect all attacks, so she has this reflect, and she has some other PvP stuff going on, like on her third skill, she does have ignore targeting, and some other things, but I think her use is only going to be Alliance Conquest. So depending on how much you really care about Alliance Conquest, you could probably pass on this one. Probably pass on it, although we're probably going to be seeing her in story mode, just like we do see all the other, you know, kind of lower ranked characters there. Okay, that's America Chavez in a nutshell. Now let's go to Quasar. Now I'm still yet to test her in PvP, but I think we have enough PvP characters, right? At the very least for Timeline and even Alliance Conquest. Now, I can't, you know, tell you what her value is going to be for Alliance Conquest or Timeline yet. Like I said, I haven't tested her, but for PvE, now she's good. She's good, but she's not, like, she's not that good where you're, you know, she's not on Supergiant's level. You know, she's slower than Proxima. She's about at the same pace as Rogue, you know, according to my testing, but I don't think you know, you necessarily need to go out and get her if you have those characters, because we only need 5 World Boss Legend clears, right? You only need 5. You don't necessarily just need 5 characters, because, you know, you need lead, support, and sometimes you do like a swap method, but I don't think you need to run out and get her, especially because she's a paywall character, and to upgrade her uniform, you're going to need a uniform ticket. Unless you want to wait months selecting her, you know, 20 bios a day. So I think she could definitely be a pass for you. You know, you better believe I'm going to be digging, I'm going to be reaching and trying to find uses for these characters here. So those damn notifications, man, I always forget to shut them off. Okay, so as I was saying, the PvP test for Quasar is going to be coming up next, and we're going to see exactly how good she is. I think she can actually be pretty good for Timeline, but like I said, how many characters do you need for Timeline? Now, and there seems like there's actually a lot of options here, and that could be saved for another video where I break down all the options for Timeline. Spectrum, I actually just put out this video. I just had to go live, and she impressed me. She definitely impressed me for PvP. She can definitely be a viable option. She won, after I put the Authority and then Regen on her, she won all the matches that I brought her into Timeline with. But again though, she's just kind of adding to the list of Timeline characters at this point. For PvE, she was terrible. She was really, really bad. Like, Rogue and Proxima did it like well over a minute faster than her, and I just was not impressed. You know, you just should not bring her into World Boss Legend or any PvE content whatsoever. Doggone it, another interruption there. Okay, as I was saying, Spectrum I think is definitely, she's a pass too, right? Now we're going to be getting her for free from the faction battle. I thought the faction battle was going to be coming a lot sooner. I don't think anyone really knows when it's coming. you know, a lot of times what you can do is you can go to the store and you can look at the when the sale ends here, and you can get an idea of when certain things are going to be coming or changing. So I'd say there's a good chance that the faction battle could be coming in the next few days here when these sales end. That would be my guesstimation there. Okay, moving on here. We're going to do Captain Marvel last. All right, so Blue Marvel. Now, Blue Marvel, you know, he has this very interesting PvP effect, mockery, right? A lot of people comparing it to Taunt, and it seems like it is meta breaking for a couple areas, for Alliance Tournament and Alliance Conquest. Now, there are only 16 alliances that participate in Alliance Tournament every week. Alliance Conquest, I don't think there are that many players that actually are, you know, Alliance Conquest, you know, hardcore. But if you are, I haven't brought them in there myself, but I've seen clips, I've seen footage from people sharing on different chats that I'm in, and he seems to be very, very good for Alliance Conquest. It's just like, you know, once, you know, when you're in that environment where there's more than one character, you know, at play there, right? Alliance Tournament, Alliance Conquest, he seems to just dominate, and he's meta there. So if you care about Alliance Tournament, you care about Alliance Conquest, then he's a must buy for you. Definitely a must buy for you. But aside from those two things, yeah, he's good in timeline. But you know, he needs like the double support, like in the video I made. He needs a double support like Colossus, Ebony Maw, and then he can get it done for you. He could probably still get it done with just like, you know, one support, right? Like if you have Sentry, Blue Marvel, and then like Colossus or Ebony Maw on the team, you know, that could definitely work as well. But he's just not going to be as strong in that scenario. Obviously, you know, one support or two support. Without any support, like I feel like Sentry could get it done without any support, but Blue Marvel probably couldn't. So he's not as strong as Sentry for timeline, but he seems to be stronger for, at the very least, Alliance Conquest. It's too soon to tell for Alliance Tournament. You might need both of them on the team, but you might be able to operate without Sentry for Alliance Tournament. I can't say that for certain yet, but that's just a theory that I'm coming up with right here on the spot. So, yeah, like I said, Alliance Tournament, Alliance Conquest, meta. Aside from that, he's very good in timeline, but he's not like super meta breaking there, and he is terrible for PvE. Don't even try to use this man in PvE. I've heard of some people actually just using this uniform PvE, and he actually did better than this one for PvE. But still, even nonetheless, it still wasn't a major. It didn't speed up his time all that much. So, yeah, just stay away from that. Okay, now moving on, Black Panther here. This, in my opinion, is the biggest upset of this update. This uniform right here. Yeah, I know it's a 3099 uniform, right? Just like if we go to, let's see, Captain America has a 3099 uniform. If you know what I'm talking about, it's this uniform here. You got them for free just from completing story mode. Okay, some people are comparing it. Well, it's only this 3099 uniform. Well, you're not getting it for free. You're paying crystals for it. So regardless if it just has the name 3099 in it, it could still be a good uniform because you're actually paying crystals for it. And I heard some people comparing him to like Venom in World Boss Legend, and Venom's terrible. I know they're both combat, but Venom's just bad. He is so bad for World Boss Legend. Venom's use, and the only reason why people even have him built up is because he is ABX meta now, and Black Panther can't do that better than him. He cannot do ABX better than him. He's not ABX meta, so don't build him for that. Don't think he's going to be able to perform well for you there. Yeah, I still have this build on him. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some more testing with him. If you guys want me to do more testing with him, let me know who and where you want me to test him. But I'm probably going to end up ripping all this stuff off him. Maybe some PvP stuff. Maybe I fought a team with Black Panther on it, and he almost killed my Blue Marvel because, you know, he's got the iframes. He's got on his 4 skill. He's got that kind of burst of damage, that delayed damage, and it seems like he's got on his 3rd skill, it's like a hidden counter attack, ignore targeting, not a counter attack, but ignore targeting. At least that's what I heard. But He's really bad. Like, his survivability is so bad. They need to give this man a heal. They need to give him more defensive, like immunity, invincibility, because all he really has is on his, what skill is it? So he's got a guard head here on his 3rd skill, and I thought he had invincibility as well for like a few seconds on his, yeah, right here. Okay, yeah, he has immunity for 5 seconds. And that's it. His survivability is terrible, no heal. His damage is not good compared to, you can't compare him to Venom. You got to compare him to other meta characters that you're actually using right now in World Boss Legend. And Venom's not one of them. And if you're using Venom, then I suggest you don't. So he is a hard pass. A hard pass. Do not buy the uniform. Just unless, I don't know, man, unless you really love him. Let's hope they buff him, they patch it, they do something for the man, because he needs it. He needs it. And some people are saying that, oh, well, he's going to get, you know, with the movie, and he's going to get, no, we shouldn't have to wait for the movie. We shouldn't have to wait for, like, you release a uniform now, it should be, it doesn't have to be super meta breaking, but he should at least be decent, right? He should be decent enough where you could actually use him and compare him to other characters that are towards the top of the charts, right? Okay, there's my rant on Black Panther. Now, last but certainly not least, Captain Marvel, I think, is the most useful toon out of this update. And yeah, she has some PvP value, because she has all this damage decrease, like on her uniform. As her uniform effect, she has so increased damage dealt to supervillains by 50%, and then she has decreased damage from supervillains by 50%, and then she has decreased all damage by 40%. So that's a 90% damage decrease from supervillains, plus damage dealt. Now, that makes her pretty OP for like Alliance Conquest. You know, when you're fighting villains, you have a team filled with villains, boom, send Captain Marvel in there, she'll get it done. She also seems to be pretty good for Timeline. And, you know, I've seen her get it done in Timeline, but the issue is that she doesn't have a heal. She does not have a heal, but she has decent damage, and, you know, the iframes plus the iframe ignore on 4. But that's not where her real value is. Her real value is in ABX and Squad Battle. Now, for ABX, she's not meta solo, but the best team for Universal Villain Day is going to be, you're going to need her for the Roar Cancel. Long story short, you need Captain Marvel for the Roar Cancel in order to score the highest for that day, right? You team her up with Supergiant, because the thing is, for burn season, okay? I don't think I specified that, because Supergiant does not have burn. She has no burn on the skills, so that's a huge bummer. Wish they would have just gave it to her. Yeah, so you need Captain Marvel for the burn to cancel for burn season in ABX, and that's pretty much it there. So it's a very limited. It's only 1 month. I mean, I feel like most people could probably live without that, right? Or you could use a different character to actually get that cancel. And then for Squad Battle. So for Squad Battle, now I didn't run this competitively, actually. This was a really bad run. I could have ran it before coming in here just to show you like what a good score actually looks like, but I've heard people scoring like 8 million here. So that's a huge increase from like Cosmic Ghost Rider. Now, some people were scoring like 6 million with Molecule Man, but I don't think there were many people actually doing that. You need a crazy build on him, and he's much better suited for Timeline, so or just PvP in general. But on a really bad run, you know, 5.6, that's enough. I think that's definitely enough to build a character. You know, I know it's only, you know, basically 1 day a week, but it attributes to your overall score for the week. It's basically just like ABX. It's Squad Battle version of ABX. So she's got those niche uses there. They're not super niche, but for anybody who cares about ABX, they're gonna build her up. Yeah, I threw 8 Odin's Blessings on her. I'll probably fill up the rest of the slots there and finish her off. That's where I'll be using her. On my account, I'll be using her for Squad Battle and ABX. All the other characters, I think, are just kind of fun, right? Like Blue Marvel and then Spectrum and Quasar, I think are on the next tier for you know, most value for the update. It'll probably be Captain Marvel, Blue Marvel. Then like I said, I still haven't tested Quasar, but it could be either Quasar or Spectrum there. And then I'd say America Chavez probably has more use than Black Panther. Maybe. It all depends. We got to see if Black Panther or America Chavez perform better in Alliance Conquest. I'm guessing America Chavez is going to, just because she has more PvP stuff going on. She actually has a heal. She has a 20% heal on her fort skill. She's got the reflect, the damage decrease, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And she's an awakened character, so they tend to do pretty well in Alliance Conquest. So I think I broke it all down here. And that's why I feel like for most people, like I said, aside from that, the 1 day every 2 weeks for 1 month in ABX, and then that squad battle on Vibranium, you could completely skip this update and not feel bad about it. Unless you really care about the Alliance Conquest and Alliance Tournament, then you got Blue Marvel here. But aside from that, you could just say bye-bye. Let it pass by. I know it's a bummer because we look forward to these updates. They build a lot of hype. It seemed like this was the most hyped update in a long time, right? You know, you had the Ultimates coming, and we know they're strong in the comics, but they kind of fall short. But it definitely seems like there's a lot more PvP stuff going on here. It's a lot more of a PvP oriented update than a PvE. So, but I think that's a lot of question in a lot of people's minds. A lot of people wondering, like, oh, should I even spend my resources here or there? Well, there it is. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to unless you care about the things that I actually just mentioned. So, I'm going to end it there, though. I hope you enjoyed the video. But you better stay tuned. You stay breezy, but most of all, friend, you stay safe out there now. Peace.